to our forecast. We've already told you this week is Fire Awareness Week in Maine, but it's also Maine Severe Weather Awareness Week as well. Pretty busy.
Yes. Yeah, busy week.
Yeah.
The fact that they're both in the same week is kind of funny.
I know.
But at least the good news when it comes to the fire danger, we have rain coming in tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, and so maybe on Sunday, it's going to lower that a bit.
Yes, and we had this fire down in the Scarborough Marsh yesterday. The videos were crazy of the helicopters, dropping water on it. The flames were so high with that. So glad to see we're getting a good soaking this weekend. That will really help. If only it didn't have to come on the weekend, though.
I know.
But whatever, what can you do about it?
We can't do anything.
That's right. We got to
make the best of it.
Exactly. So yeah, it's also Severe Weather Week this week. And let's start out by breaking down what exactly the National Weather Service defines severe weather as. There's really three main categories here. First up is a severe thunderstorm. This is any storm that has winds of 58 miles per hour or greater or hail of an inch or greater, so quarter-sized hail or bigger. Now, if the storm doesn't have either of these things or just has one of them, it is still a severe storm, but if it doesn't have either, not technically a severe thunderstorm. It can still have strong winds that do damage, but maybe not rising quite to that level of a severe thunderstorm. Next up, we have flash flooding. That's when we get extreme rain in a short time frame, usually defined as about 6 hours or less. Of course, we see rapid water rises. We are very familiar with flash flooding in Maine, especially with the mountains and the narrow valleys that we've got. We've seen plenty of flash flooding in the past several summers. And finally, of course, we have tornadoes, which are either spotted or detected on radar. Of course, we know that tornadoes are, the worst probably to deal with of these three, with the flying debris and the extreme winds that can easily lead to major damage. So, three categories: severe thunderstorm, a flash flood, and tornadoes. Now let's talk about what we see when we see a watch. We get flash flood watches, severe thunderstorm watches, and tornado watches. There's a good chance we get all three of those at some point this summer here in Maine. And let's refresh on what a watch is. It means that conditions are favorable for the development of whatever category of severe weather it may be, but not imminent. It's just a heads up. Hey, today there's the risk of flash flooding, there's the risk of severe thunderstorms, or there's the risk of tornadoes. It's just hey, stay on alert. There could be some severe weather. A warning is issued when that is happening or about to happen. So when we're getting extreme rain, there's a flash flood warning issued. That means that you need to take action immediately. Same thing with a tornado warning and a severe thunderstorm warning. So these are issued usually just a few minutes or maybe up to half an hour or so in advance of getting those impacts. So watch, warning. Something to remember here. Again, it's been a minute since we've dealt with any severe weather in Maine, so a good brush up on what exactly we do when it comes to severe weather. And of course with tornadoes, and I would say a really bad severe thunderstorm as well, it's kind of the same about where you want to be in terms of safety. And because we get so few tornadoes in Maine, it's pretty rare to get them here. It's a good idea to have this in mind because, the places that don't get them tend to be less prepared than the places that do. So again, you want to be in an interior room here during a tornado or even a severe thunderstorm. Of course, hail and wind can be just as, damaging as a tornado. So no outside walls. You don't want to be in a room that has any wall that faces the outside or especially any windows either. And of course, the best spot to be is down in your basement if you've got one of those. If not, again, that interior room is where you want to be. The good thing is in Maine, we don't really get the tornadoes that, wipe away your entire house. So that's some good news. You probably would be pretty safe if you go to your basement or to that interior room. And for a flash flood warning, again, if you get one of these issued for your area, especially if you live along a stream or a river, you want to move to higher ground. Don't walk in the high water or drive in it, and just be very cautious when we get one of those issued. So yeah, flash flooding, I would say of the three, probably impacts us the most. If you remember summer 2023, we had all those road washouts when we had that incredibly rainy summer. So yeah, we definitely see all three, and it's very much not out of the question that we get a tornado, a severe thunderstorm, and flash flooding at some point this summer. So good reminder.
Yeah, I've lived all over the country. In the South, New Orleans. I lived in Denver, which, by the way, so you deal with the thunderstorms and tornadoes down there. Then you deal with the thunderstorms and tornadoes in the Midwest. I know you lived in Kansas.
And you have hurricanes in New Orleans.
Why don't we get like the severe weather like these other places in the country?
Well, because of the very cold ocean. It really kind of saves us from getting the bad severe weather. If the ocean was really warm off the coastline, the storms would have more fuel. But as soon as they run into that sort of ocean cooled air, kind of fizzles them out. So it kind of saves us a lot of the times from severe weather, but every once in a while things line up just right and we can get a significant severe weather outbreak here.
I did not know that.
So the ocean goes back
Cold
off.
ocean.
Yes,
All right,
back off.
For
So-
once, we're grateful for the cold,
Right,
icy
right.
ocean.
You know, on a July day when you're at the beach, you might not be super grateful for it, but when severe thunderstorms are moving our way
Yes.
and they kind of fall apart when they get to Maine, you might be pretty grateful for
All
it.
right, sounds good.
The trade-off.
And if you've got any weather-related questions you'd like to ask our Weather Authority team, you can email us at weather@wgme.com.